Hi friends, in this video related to trigonometry, we will study about the trigonometric functions, that is trigonometric ratios, then mutual relations between them, and then trigonometric identities. So be ready with your pen and notebook to note down the important points for your future reference. Say first we want to define trigonometry. Tri means three, gon means side, metry means study. It means trigonometry is study related to three-sided closed figures, and three-sided closed figures are triangles. So trigonometry means study related to three-sided closed figures. But up till 10th standard, trigonometry is confined to the study related to right angle triangles only. In 11th standard, we will apply trigonometry to all kinds of triangles. Now, what are trigonometric functions or trigonometric ratios? Trigonometric functions or trigonometric ratios are the ratios of any two sides of a right angled triangle. It means T ratios will be defined for right angled triangle. These trigonometric ratios are of 6 types. Say first is sin theta, then cos theta, tan theta, cot theta, sec theta, cosec theta. Actually, sin, sin, sin is sine sine. Similarly here it is cosine, cosine, cosine. It is tangent, tangent, tangent. It is cotangent. Here secant, and this one is cosecant. Now what is sine? Sine is the ratio of perpendicular of right angle triangle to its hypotenuse. Cos is the ratio of base of right angle triangle to its hypotenuse, while tan is the ratio of perpendicular to the base. Now, how to find out which side is perpendicular, which one is base, and which one is hypotenuse? The side opposite to right angle means the largest side of right angle triangle will be always hypotenuse. If it is hypotenuse, then out of the rest two sides, one will be perpendicular and another will be base. And which one is perpendicular and which one is base will depend upon the angle under consideration. If we want to use angle A, say this angle is theta, then for angle theta, side opposite to it will be perpendicular. Longest one is hypotenuse, so the third side left will be the base. So AB is base for angle theta, but if we were be considering angle C, say this angle is phi, then for angle phi, side opposite to angle phi will be AB. So AB will be perpendicular and the third side, that is BC, will be base. So depending upon the angle under consideration, out of the two acute angles, perpendicular and base can interchange, but hypotenuse will always remain the same. To remember these ratios of sin, cos and tan, we can use P upon H is sin, B upon H is cos, P upon B is tan. So we may say sin, cos, tan in this order as Pandit Badri Prasad har bole. Or we may say Pakistan bhuka pyasa, Hindustan hara bhara. Or there is one more way of keeping it in mind. S for sin. Some people have curly black here C for curly, turned, T for turned, permanently black. It means by any way you can keep these ratios sine, cos, tan in mind. Now sine being perpendicular upon hypotenuse, from this triangle for angle theta, sine theta will be BC upon AC, because for angle theta BC will be perpendicular, so it will be BC upon AC. Now this can be written as 1 upon AC upon BC, dividing numerator and denominator both by BC. Then AC upon BC will become hypotenuse upon perpendicular, and hypotenuse upon perpendicular is cosec theta. So sin theta will be equal to 1 upon cosec theta, and this implies sin theta into cosec theta will always be 1. It means sin theta and cosec theta will be reciprocal of each other. Now if we come to cos theta is base upon hypotenuse, and for angle theta base is AB, so it will be AB upon AC, and dividing numerator and denominator both by AB, it will become 1 upon AC by AB, and AC by AB, AC is hypotenuse and AB is base, hypotenuse upon base is sec theta, so 1 upon sec theta, and this implies cos theta into sec theta is always 1. It means cos theta and sec theta are reciprocal to each other. In the same way, when we come to tan theta, then tan theta perpendicular upon base, perpendicular for angle theta is BC, so it will be BC upon AB. If we will divide numerator and denominator both by BC, then it will become 1 upon AB upon BC, and AB is base upon perpendicular, and base upon perpendicular is cot theta, so it will become 1 upon cot theta, and this implies tan theta into cot theta is always 1. It means both are reciprocal of each other. In the same way, cot theta base upon perpendicular, and if from this triangle we will find out, then base is AB and perpendicular is BC. If we will divide numerator and denominator both by AB, then it will become BC upon AB. BC upon AB is tan theta, so it will become 1 upon tan theta. Again you will get tan theta into cot theta equal to 1. Now cot theta is reciprocal of tan theta, and sec theta is reciprocal of cos theta, cosec theta is reciprocal of sin theta. So if we know first 3 trigonometric ratios, then rest 3 can be obtained by reciprocating them. Say sec theta, h upon b, hypotenuse upon base. Hypotenuse from this triangle is AC and base is AB. This is equal to 1 upon AB by AC, by dividing numerator and denominator both by AC. And now what is AB by AC? AB means base upon hypotenuse. Base upon hypotenuse is cos theta, so it will become 1 upon cos theta, and again we will get sec theta into cos theta equal to 1. This is equal to, this time it is cosec theta, so cosec theta is equal to hypotenuse upon perpendicular, and that will be AC upon perpendicular is BC, and it can be written as 1 upon BC by AC, dividing numerator and denominator both by AC, and this will give you BC means hypotenuse and AC means, and this will give you BC means perpendicular upon AC means hypotenuse. Perpendicular upon hypotenuse is sin theta, so it will become 1 upon sin theta. Again we will get cosec theta into sin theta equal to 1. And if product of two numbers is 1, then it means both are reciprocal to each other. Now one more relation we can obtain. If we will divide numerator and denominator both by hypotenuse, then it will become perpendicular upon hypotenuse divided by base upon hypotenuse. And perpendicular upon hypotenuse is sin theta, while base upon hypotenuse is cos theta. Implies tan theta is equal to sin theta upon cos theta. Now cot theta is base upon perpendicular, that is reciprocal of tan theta, so it will become base upon hypotenuse divided by perpendicular upon hypotenuse if we will divide numerator and denominator both by hypotenuse. So it will give cos theta upon sin theta. So thus cot theta will be cos theta upon sin theta. Now we will come to trigonometric identities. Actually there are two things, one equations and another identities. Equations are those relations which are true only for a few values of angle theta, while if we come to trigonometric identities will be those relations which will be true for all values of theta. Here sin square theta plus cos square theta, we know sin square theta will be perpendicular upon hypotenuse whole square, cos square theta will be base upon hypotenuse whole square. So hypotenuse square will be LCM and we will get perpendicular square plus base square as the numerator, and we know that perpendicular square plus base square is hypotenuse square by Pythagoras theorem. So using Pythagoras theorem it will become hypotenuse square upon hypotenuse square, that is 1. This implies sin square theta plus cos square theta is always 1, and this identity will always be used to change either sin into cos or cos into sin. Say we want to find out sin square theta in terms of cos square theta, then it will become sin square theta is equal to 1 minus cos square theta, or sin theta is equal to plus minus under root 1 minus cos square theta. Similarly, we can write cos square theta 1 minus sin square theta, or cos theta is equal to plus minus under root 1 minus sin square theta. So it means using this identity we can change sin into cos or cos into sin. Now second identity, 1 plus tan square theta. So 1 plus tan theta is perpendicular upon base, so it will become perpendicular square upon base square. This is equal to base square plus perpendicular square upon base square. Base square plus perpendicular square by Pythagoras theorem will be hypotenuse square, and this will become hypotenuse upon base whole square, and we know hypotenuse upon base is sec theta, so it will become sec square theta. So it means whatever may be the value of theta, 1 plus tan square theta will always be sec square theta, and this identity will always be used either to change sec square theta into tan square theta. If we want to find out sec theta will be plus minus under root 1 plus tan square theta, or using it we can find out tan theta. Tan square theta will be sec square theta minus 1, and this implies tan theta will be plus minus under root sec square theta minus 1. Generally in lower classes only positive sign is considered because trigonometry up to 10th standard is confined to first quadrant only. It means for value of theta between 0 and 90 degree only. So for those values of theta, all trigonometric ratios will be positive. That's why up to 10th standard we will consider only positive sign. Now third identity is 1 plus cot square theta. So 1 plus and cot theta we know base upon perpendicular. So it will become base square upon perpendicular square. By taking LCM it will become perpendicular square plus base square upon perpendicular square. And by Pythagoras theorem, perpendicular square plus base square will become hypotenuse square and divided by perpendicular square. Hypotenuse upon perpendicular whole square, and we know hypotenuse upon perpendicular is cosec theta. So this will give 1 plus cot square theta is equal to cosec square theta. And this can be used either to change cosec square theta into cot square theta or cot square theta into cosec square theta. If we want to find out cosec theta, then cosec theta will become plus minus under root 1 plus cot square theta. And this will give cot square theta is equal to cosec square theta minus 1. Or this implies cot theta is equal to plus minus under root cosec square theta minus 1. Again I am telling that up to 10th standard we will use only positive signs here. These are the trigonometric identities, these are the trigonometric ratios. Now we will solve a few questions to understand the use of trigonometric ratios and trigonometric identities. To understand the use of trigonometric ratios and trigonometric identities in questions, we are taking a few examples. Say in first example, sin theta is p by q, then we have to find sin theta plus cos theta in terms of p and q. It means sin theta is given, we have to find out cos theta in terms of p and q. We know that sin theta is perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So it means here perpendicular is say px. X is the common factor in p and q. Then hypotenuse will be qx. So now we will have to find out base. As by Pythagoras theorem, base square is equal to hypotenuse square minus perpendicular square. Base will be under root hypotenuse square यानी q square x square minus perpendicular square minus p square x square. X square will be taken as common and outside the square root it will become x root q square minus p square. So cos theta now will be base upon hypotenuse. Base is x root q square minus p square divided by hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is qx. X will get cancelled, so we will get under root q square minus p square upon q as the cos theta. So sin theta plus cos theta will be p upon q plus root q square minus p square upon q, and we can take q as LCM to get p plus under root q square minus p square, and this will be the final answer. At the most, q square minus p square can be written as q plus p, q minus p. Now in second question, q tan theta is given as p and we have to find out the value of p sin theta minus q cos theta upon p sin theta plus q cos theta. Say this value is x. We are taking the value as x so that it may not be required to write this expression again and again. So x will be this one, and by dividing numerator and denominator both by cos theta, we will get tan theta in numerator as well as in denominator, and the value of tan theta from here we will get p upon q. So we will divide numerator and denominator both of this expression by cos theta to make tan theta in numerator as well as in denominator. If it were be given in the form of cot theta, then we were have divided numerator and denominator both by sin theta, because cos theta upon sin theta would have given us cot theta. So since here tan theta is given, so we will make tan theta in numerator and denominator both by dividing numerator and denominator by cos theta. So it will become p sin theta upon cos theta minus q cos theta upon cos theta will be cancelled, so only q will be left upon p sin theta upon cos theta plus q. Sin theta upon cos theta is tan theta, so it will become p tan theta minus q upon p tan theta plus q. But from the given condition, tan theta will be p upon q. If tan theta will be p upon q, so we will put tan theta as p upon q. So it will become p square upon q minus q upon p into p square upon q plus q. On taking LCM, it will become p square minus q square upon q divided by p square plus q square upon q. These q's will be cancelled because the denominator will get multiplied after being reciprocating. So it will give p square minus q square upon q multiplied by q upon p square plus q square. This will give q will get cancelled, p square minus q square upon p square plus q square. Now we are taking one more example in which we have to prove tan a plus sec a minus 1 upon tan a minus sec a plus 1 is equal to 1 plus sin a upon cos a, and this is again to be proved equal to cos a upon 1 minus sin a. In order to prove it, we will take its LHS. LHS is tan a plus sec a, and in this question minus 1 will be replaced by trigonometric identity 1 plus tan square theta is equal to sec square theta. So 1 will be equal to sec square theta minus tan square theta. Here theta is a, yani angle is a, so it will become sec square a minus tan square a, because 1 plus tan square a will be sec square a, so 1 will become sec square a minus tan square a upon denominator will remain as such tan a minus sec a plus 1. This will be equal to tan a plus sec a minus sec square a minus tan square a will become sec a plus tan a into sec a minus tan a by a square minus b square is equal to a plus b a minus b upon denominator will remain as such tan a minus sec a plus 1. Now in numerator we will take tan a plus sec a as common, and here we will be left 1 here minus sec A and minus minus plus tan A divided by tan A minus sec A plus 1, and we can see that these two terms are same, positive tan A minus sec A plus 1 plus 1. So these two will get cancelled and we will get equal to tan A plus sec A. Now what is tan A? Tan A is sin A upon cos A, while by reciprocal relation sec A is 1 upon cos A. Cos A will be LCM and we will get 1 plus sin A, and it will prove the first relation. Now we have to further prove 1 plus sin A upon cos A as cos A upon 1 minus sin A. So again 1 plus sin A upon cos A will be equal to 1 plus sin A upon cos A multiplied by, we will multiply denominator and numerator both by 1 minus sin A. So 1 minus sin A upon 1 minus sin A. This will make 1 square minus sin square A, because A plus B, A minus B will be A square minus B square. So it will become 1 minus sin square A, and in denominator it will be cos A into 1 minus sin A, and this is equal to 1 minus sin square A from the identity sin square theta plus cos square theta is 1. If sin square theta plus cos square theta is 1, then 1 minus sin square theta will be cos square theta. So 1 minus sin square A will be cos square A upon cos A into 1 minus sin A. Now cos A will cancel 1 power of cos square A, so it will become cos A upon 1 minus sin A. So thus we can say that all the three terms are equal. So it was about a few examples to understand trigonometric ratios, their mutual relations and trigonometric identities. In next video we will understand about the signs of trigonometric ratios in various quadrants. Also, we will find out the T ratios for complementary angles, supplementary angles, and for 270 plus minus theta and 360 plus minus theta.